Okay, today we're going to talk about Food Fighters, one of my favorite 80s toy lines. Made in 1988 by Mattel. Food Fighters is an excellent example of what are my favorite toy lines, which are these hyper-creative properties that are unassociated to any expanding universe. So unlike G.I. Joe or Masters of the Universe that come up with entire cartoon series to back up the sales of their toys, Food Fighters gets to be this wildly creative standalone. But in this case, we do have a commercial.
Yo, Burgundy, chew on this.
You'll never cut the mustard, mean winner!
Food fight!
Your history, Private Pizza. Pow! And your lunch. Combat curtain. Fire!
What's going on?
Joy Slam is food again, Mom.
Food Fighters, figures in combat carton each sold separately.
So Food Fighters is literally an anthropomorphized food fight. And while we don't have a cartoon series, we get a ton of lore from the box. So we have the good guys who are the Kitchen Commandos, led by Brigadier General the Burger, and backed up by Lieutenant Leg the Drumstick, Sergeant Scoop the Ice Cream Cone, Major Munch the Donut, and Private Pizza the Pizza Slice. And then we have the Refrigerator Rejects, who are the bad guys. These guys don't have any military designations, so I'm not sure if they're in the military, like the Kitchen Commandos, but whatever. Their team leader is Mean Wiener the Hot Dog, and he's backed up by Fat Frenchie the French Fries, Chip the Ripper the Chocolate Chip Cookie, Taco Terror the Taco, and Short Stack the little pancake stack. So cute. And then in addition to these core released figures, we have these 4 European release color variants, which for obvious reasons are a bit harder to find, but so cute. Here's an example of the cards for these figures. This line's an obvious, silly riff on G.I. Joe. So each of the figures comes with a weapon, a backpack, and a little hat, whose designs are quite similar to those that would come with G.I. Joe. Personally, I think the cards on these are really cool. The illustrations of all the characters are super fun. Look at Short Stack up there. He's going crazy. And here's the back of the card. I really love it when the toy lines use the prototypes as the photos on the boxes for the figures. That's some really obvious differences here. Again, Short Stack is the kookiest one of them all, I think. The prototypes seem to be what they used for all of the advertising for this line. Just a little extra funky looking. The vehicles for this line are really amazing, like this egg carton and grill. I unfortunately don't have the space for these, so I don't have them. There's also an unreleased prototype for a refrigerator playset. That's amazing. My favorite part being this juice can bombs dispenser that's totally taking out Fat Frenchie. Each of the cards have kind of like a mission brief on the back that revolves around the character that's on the card. This one, for example, is about Short Stack mining the countertop with chunks of butter and trapping the Kitchen Commandos in syrup. Again, riffing on G.I. Joe, each of the cards come with a cutout food freshness file for each character that are super funny. Short Stacks, for example, says that his weakness is that he melts like butter in battle, and his goal is to become a short order cook. Why? Short Stack's design is one of my favorite out of the whole toy line. I love the drippy syrup and the little melty butter on top. And I really like how they built the face into the sides of the stacked pancakes. I also really like Lieutenant Leg's design. It's so weird. Oddly the most human out of all of them. And I just have to mention that his food freshness file says that he was born in Gobble Gobble, Georgia, and his goal is to set every chicken free. I'm honestly so tempted to read all of their food freshness profiles because they're so good, but I'll just do one more. Okay, Sergeant Scoop's goal is to lick the world. And his quote is, "It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you slurp your cone." Well said, Sergeant Scoop. Okay, I lied one more because I see a controversy here. Okay, Fat Frenchie's weakness is that he likes hamburgers. And we all know that the leader of the Kitchen Commandos is a burger. Freaking scandalous. Okay, so this may not be the most obscure toy line, and I've been collecting this for years. It's just taken me a really long time to piece together all the little weapons. Some of them are really hard to find. They're very, very cheap, very, very delicate, and they break, and they don't last 40 years. But again, I do think Food Fighters is a really great representation of what are my favorite toy lines from the 80s, which are these totally random, lowbrow, freaking KB toys versions of toy that last for a little blip in time, but are wildly creative. What I feel like I'm looking at here is total artistic freedom for artists to create something really fun and super imaginative for kids, and a time that really allowed space for artists to be artists.